Hi, everyone. Welcome to meal kit number 48 from Curated by Becta for the week of April 14th to 18th. Happy anniversary. It was 1 year ago this week that we launched Curated by Becta. And we're going to talk about that throughout the meal, but just without you guys and your support and your amazing love that you're sending our way, none of this would be possible. So thank you, and I can't wait to share this amazing dinner with you. All right, why don't we go ahead and get started? So the duck component of this dish is going to take the longest. So I've taken it out of the bag and put it on some paper towel because there's going to be some blood in there. We do a sous vide of it, so it's cooked already to medium rare, and basically you're rendering the fat, warming it up, letting it rest, and then slicing it. So first thing you do, lots of salt and pepper, and you're going to get your pan on medium high, and I'm going to turn the hood fan on a little bit because the duck, she can smoke a little bit when it is seared. So important that you season both sides liberally with salt and pepper. And in the pan, you can do some canola oil or you can do grapeseed oil, which is what I do, although I'm almost out of my grapeseed oil. 1 tablespoon a person. I've got the demi-glaze warming up on low over here. And while the pan is getting nice and hot, I am going to go ahead and get our delicious asparagus soup and put it in the pot. The appetizer is super easy. You're literally just warming up the soup, putting the crouton and the lemon oil on it. You shouldn't even need to season it. If you like a little more salt and pepper like I do, you probably add it, but that's easy. So I am going to turn up the heat here a little bit, and I'm also going to turn up the heat on my lentil pot and my veg dish. So the duck, the way you can tell if the pan is ready, take a little bit of water on your hands, and if it sparkles like that, it means that it is ready to go. So the duck, we've done this beautiful Hasselback crisscross there. You want to put it fat side down, and we want to render the fat. About 5 minutes, and actually, I forgot I've got a cool thing for that. Duck fat can splatter a little bit, so if you've got a spatter guard like this, you can just throw it on there. And that way, all of the nice spatter gets caught up on that instead of all over your countertop. The oven, by the way, set to 450 because we're going to need to throw it in there for just a couple minutes. Okay, soup. All right, warm it up. Let's talk about the wine. So we've got for the white with the asparagus soup, two beautiful French wines this week, but this is a Macarlot Costardine. It's a blend of 60% Roussanne, 30% Marsanne, and 10% Viognier. These are all amazing white Rhone grape varieties. So this is from the Rhone Valley, Costardine, and it's just gorgeous. The way Connor poetically describes it, peach marmalade, apricots, honeyed, pears, candle wax, and a touch of buttered brioche. I don't know if I can get all of that in there, but it is pretty delicious. All right, so the smoke's coming up nicely. The duck is rendering nicely. Soup coming along. Yeah, so the next thing I want to do is put the beluga lentils into my pot. It says a dash of water, kind of like a tablespoon. Get rid of that. And 1 tablespoon of butter is going to go right in the middle of the beluga lentils. And make sure to stir that around. We've got a couple spoons going on. Okay, it's hard to tell with the smoke coming from the duck and the demi-glaze because I don't want the demi-glaze to reduce too much. This is a Bordelaise sauce, so a red wine demi-glaze, and it's just rich and delicious. Lots of umami flavors, which I am a huge fan of. So while that's going on, why don't we go ahead and plate our dessert? This is the time of year for maple. So make sure I get the description right. Date and walnut cake with blueberry and maple jam. So just bring it out delicately and make sure to bring everything to room temperature because you don't want this not room temperature. And I'm going to try a couple different presentations here, but it should be on top and around. Yeah, I think that one actually looks the best. I know my son is going to love that one. Super tasty. Okay, I'm going to show you in just a second, but first I need to flip my Dutch rest. So this is the important part. You want a little bit of brown, almost black, to make the rendering there. And then when you flipped it over, make sure to grab a cloth so you don't burn your hands, like I have done sometimes. And we're going to sort of bathe this with the duck. So 30 seconds on the skin side down. You can take that off the heat. And we are going to put this in the oven. Hey Google, set a timer for 3 minutes. Lovely. Okay, so the dessert. I don't know, you guys can decide which one you like the better. But I think this one. Walnut and date cake with the blueberry and maple jam. For anyone with a allergy to nuts, it's just walnuts in the kit this week, and hopefully there are not too many of you, because we don't want you to skip this beautiful dessert. Okay, our soup is bubbling along well. Make sure to give it a stir so it doesn't stick to the bottom. I'm going to turn that guy off. Demi-glaze is working along well, and my pan is already warm. I always prefer to cook on the gas. When we first moved into this home, we had a 4-burner electric stove, and I always preferred gas. So when we did a renovation, we put the 2 burners of gas in for me, and my wife enjoys cooking on this guy a little more. So 1 tablespoon of canola oil or grapeseed oil, something with a higher smoking content. And then mushrooms go in there. Our cremini mushrooms for 2. So I want to let you guys know how we did for our first year of Curated. So April 14th last year, we delivered our first orders. We were looking for something to free up some cash flow and create some employment opportunities for our staff after having to shut down all our restaurants and lay off all of our team and our family. And so since then, we have done over 2,000 custom curated wine cases, mostly 12 bottles. We've done, get this, 15,000 meal kits. Thank you. Most of them, or over half of them, with the wine pairing option. So I hope you've enjoyed what we have put together for the wine pairing options for you. It's just remarkable. And of course, lots of cheese and charcuterie and wine snack kits and add-ons and upgrades and fun stuff. But we've been able to employ back through our takeout efforts and the Curated by Becca efforts, 70 staff members out of 100, just over 100 when we had to close our restaurants. So thank you very much for all the support. That's the part that's most exciting to me, is that most of our family is back together. And even with these lockdowns, we can still practice the hospitality that we love by bringing this stuff to you at home. So thank you. Okay, mushrooms. Let's read Chef Rich's instructions. Mushrooms, 1 tablespoon of oil per person, stir regularly for 4 minutes, then add 1 tablespoon of butter per portion, and then add the Swiss chard and the pickled turnips. Hey Google, off. So make sure you get a trivet so you don't burn your countertop. Move the creminis around. The duck is definitely a smoky one, so I'm going to get it right near the hood fan. Try not to grab that pot later. And this is where we rest it. I'd put the top back in the oil for just a second, or the duck fat, so that's nice and hot, and we're gonna rest it. Hey Google, set a timer for 5 minutes. Okay, I think our mushrooms are gonna be ready. Many of you are saying, you're not stirring the beluga lentils. Okay, let's get on with that. And we'll stir the bordelaise sauce so it doesn't create a skin on top. And we're almost ready for this. So why don't we throw our couple pats of butter in and plate our soup, shall we? I love springtime, and nothing screams like springtime more than asparagus. I wish I could say that this is all local, but we are not quite yet in season for local asparagus, but hopefully in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully for Mother's Day, because the chef is working on some incredible menu for Mother's Day, something really special. So keep us in mind for your Mother's Day plans. A lot of people are doing Zoom dinners where multiple households or families order Curated by Becta package, and they actually have dinner over Zoom. What a great idea, eh? Tomorrow we're putting together 120 wine cases that are going all over Ontario for a corporate event, so that everyone can have a wine tasting together. We're looking for ways to connect with the people we love during this time, or the people we work with. Sometimes we love them. So yeah, give us a shout at yum@becta.com if you want to discuss something special and unique like these Zoom wine tastings. Basically $100 a person will get you 4 mini bottles of wine with either a charcuterie or cheese board or a wine snack kit, delivery included locally. Yes, the mushrooms are there. Swiss chard is going in. These are big pieces of Swiss chard. I'm going to rip them up a little bit. So if your Swiss chard is big, feel free to rip them up. And then we've got these pickled turnips. Add some color and some acidity. There we go. Give that a nice little stir. Same thing with your beluga lentils. And now we've got some, let me make sure I get it correctly here, Gruyere croutons. Gruyere, the beautiful French, Swiss cheese. Gives a great crunch to things. And then we've got this lemon oil, which adds a very nice texture and vibrancy with the acid to the dish. So here is our beautiful spring asparagus soup with the Gruyere croutons and the lemon oil. I'm going to try a little mini video tonight that shows all of our guests who haven't ordered yet on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, what the dishes are. So maybe you guys have seen this video already, and maybe you have ordered based upon that. Wouldn't that be lovely? Okay, this is almost done, so I'm going to turn that down while we're waiting for the duck to rest. Make sure the lentils are not sticking to the bottom. Toss a little bit of Swiss chard. Okay. I know the duck is soon. So, now this resting of the duck, make sure that you use it for all of your meats, because this is the difference between great restaurant quality stuff often and what people have at home, is that so often we slice into things because we're impatient or we think we got to make sure that it's hot. But by resting it, all the juices go back to the center, still stays pretty warm, but it becomes very tender. So as soon as that timer goes, we will start slicing that. But in the meantime, let's create a little boat of our beluga lentils. So center of the plate. Hey, Google, off. And it's okay if the duck rests a little bit longer. So yeah, just create a little boat in the center there that all your veg can live in. Hopefully you guys can see that well. All right. Veg coming up next. So you know what? I'm gonna put some Swiss chard down first so that the pickled turnips and the mushrooms can be seen, not hidden. And I forgot to season them. So if you're watching this before you cook, make sure to season your veg before. I'm going to season it after I put them down. Again, another big secret of restaurants is that why this food tastes so good, because oftentimes we season it better or more than the home cooked. We can turn the hood fan off. So the duck, you want to slice like this. So the short way. You want to do fat side down because it's easier to slice. So again, your duck is medium rare. If you want to cook it more than medium rare, then feel free to leave it in the oven for another couple minutes. I probably overcook this just a touch. I like mine a little more on the rare side. And I probably had the pan on too hot because I tend to sear duck breast. This is me not following the chef's instruction. I tend to sear it from scratch, and so I'm used to that along the way. But it's still going to be delicious, and my wife will probably be happier because she likes it a little bit closer to medium than I do. Oh, that looks gorgeous. And, oh, you know what I forgot to do? Again, I'm not reading the instructions. Turn it over so you see the lovely texture of the skin. That looks amazing already, but we've got the final component of Bordelaise sauce. I'm going to try one where I just put the sauce on the duck. I'm going to do one where the sauce is going to go around the lentils. See which one looks better. But you guys plate it any way you like, but make sure to keep sending pictures our way through social media. It's the greatest thing you can do. I had someone ask me the other day, what else can we do to support restaurants right now? Well, you guys are already supporting it. The best thing that you can do if you've got a social media account is post your pictures online of the great food and tell people that you enjoyed the dinner. That really is the best stuff. Oh, and I forgot to talk about the Côte d'Aron. It is delicious, and it's the write-ups in there. I'm a huge fan of this wine. I'm a huge fan of Connor Gallagher, our wine director, who pairs up all the wines with our stuff this week. I think it's actually prettier without the sauce around, so just make sure you put more on top, and don't tell Chef Rich I said that. Our lovely seared Rougie Farms duck breast with the pickled turnips, cremini mushrooms, Swiss chard, beluga lentils, and Bordelaise sauce. Guys, happy anniversary. Curated by Becta. Thanks for all your incredible support. I hope we get to cook and curate for you again real soon.